Hello! Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. Here's what the box looks like. And that's the spelling of Gabby's name. The website is schifferbooks.com, I believe. Feel free to freeze frame and check that out if you're interested. Schiffer, yep. Supportive Oracle Cards, Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. It's illustrated by Jesse Reish, and then I believe there's a website at the bottom there, hayhouse.com, if you're interested. And the dice, I use a 22-sided dice for the Major Arcana. I substitute 22 for 0 for the Fool. And then I use a 14-sided dice for the Minor Arcana, and then a 4-sided dice to decide the element. Those dice, I believe they all came because I got an updated one from this place where I think it's Math Art Fun, I believe. I can't see it on the camera myself right now, but hopefully you can see the website if you want to check it out. I believe it's Math Art Fun. Math Art Fun, yep. All right. That being said, if you want a reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much, and let's go on to your read. Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Cancer? Hopefully I got that in the right spot. Your card at the bottom. What is going on? All right. Okay. There's history with this situation. I mean, usually what Cancer has, when you get really connected to something, there's history to it. Cancer doesn't really strike me as somebody who just gets, emotionally involved on a whim. If you're really connected with it, you have a deep connection to it, which that's not true for everybody, but it's definitely something I've noticed is true for Cancer. So, what is going on here is a great question. There's good things, but okay. Something's been missing for a while. Something has been missing for a while. There's been conflict in love and trying to get over things and trying to correct things. There's been a lot of work trying to make something better. Something hasn't been quite the right... So it's like at one point the situation just went to a point where it just was not working. And I feel like I've been dealing with whatever's happening in pieces. I've been trying to deal with it on my terms. I've been trying to salvage something and then questioning is it really salvageable, and then trying to fight for it anyway. You've been putting a lot of effort into trying to figure out, like, do I have to put this in a certain order? Can it only work one way? Because if it can only work one way, then I guess that's how I have to do it. Yet, when you seem to find something that works, it doesn't last. Okay, so something changed a while ago. Like, there's been a change, and it's like, I've been trying to fix it for the longest time. I feel like you've been putting a lot of work into it. A lot of work. Cards fell out while I was shuffling. So, we'll see what those are about later. The current energy you have is like, I can't see a way forward anymore. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. This is a complicated situation. I feel like there's a lot of pieces to it. There are pieces I definitely love. And currently the energy's okay, but it's not about that. It's more about the realism? The realistic standpoint that it's not going to last. I know it's not. I feel like you're very much in the reality center, like, right now it's okay, but I know how this goes. And you're trying to get ahead of it. You're trying to make peace with it. You're trying to move forward. You're kind of like, I don't want to just sit here and just like enjoy it while it's okay, because I know when I do that, it just rears up and it's even stronger. It's just not working anymore. And I feel like you have addressed it within yourself. I don't know if you've told other people, but you've addressed it within yourself, kind of like, this just isn't working. And you're coming to that spot where you're realizing, like, I have nowhere left to go with this situation. Even though it's ironic, because currently the energy is fine, it's going well, maybe something good is happening, maybe there's a trip or something like that that's happening, and it's like, this is as good as it gets. And it's not a bad moment, but you're in your energy. You got this is your card. The Chariot card is the Cancer card. It's not working, and I'm making peace with that. This is not working. This is not going to work for me. This isn't going to work. You're coming to your truth, and you are healing because you're like, I've tried everything I can think of, and I could try to find new ways, but I'm going to get the same outcome, and I know that. And I feel like you're accepting it. It's not like you want it to be that way. It's more like you're seeing it for what it is. And it's been hard. It's weird at this moment because it's kind of like, this isn't the hardest moment you've had with this situation, but it is one of those moments where you're like, I just have to like make peace with what it is and what I need to do with it. Okay. Changes are happening. Now, it's very interesting because you've made peace with it. I do feel like you're addressing it within yourself. You've made peace with it. This fell out when I was shuffling. It all fell out upside down. Something is letting go. Something that is not working for you is letting go. This can be a Capricorn energy with the Devil card, but not really feeling it for this situation. I feel like something that hasn't worked for you, that doesn't match with you, is actually letting go. The fact that these are all upside down. The foundation is gone. These are both Earth cards, by the way. The foundation is just letting go. Like, it's letting go. Something is completely letting go. It's not the worst thing. The Sun card is one of those cards that even upside down, it's not the worst. It's kind of like, I think of the Sun card upside down as like a damaged photo album. I wish it was in pristine condition, but if I at least get to keep some of those pictures, I'd rather have some of them than none of them, and it's still good. I'm still thankful for what I have. So it's not like the best outcome, but it's still a good one if you follow me. And the Ace of Wands, is that upside down? Yeah, it's weird. Something is falling apart, but it's almost like, how do I explain this? It's almost like somebody is walking away, but it's not like they're wanting to walk away, they're being pulled away. That's a weird energy. Somebody is being pulled, they're being pulled away. So all of this is happening. It's not the worst thing. It could be worse. And the fact that this one's upside down, like, I'm going to get, like, let me just do the dice on that. That's interesting. It's not like somebody's choosing to do this. It's like life is choosing for them. Yeah. The Six of Pentacles, half in, half out. It's kind of like they've done something. They're paying the price for something they've done. And then the Wheel of Fortune is taking a turn. It's kind of like, well, they set something up. It's like putting too much on a shelf, and then somebody just bumped it and the shelf went down, if that makes sense. It's like the shelf was going to come down sooner or later, and somebody bumped the wall, and just there it goes. It all went all at once. It's kind of like that. So even the person that is maybe leaving or moving on, they didn't really have control over it at this point. They may have set up the situation for it to happen, but they weren't like making it happen in that moment, if that makes sense. Like, again, the shelf it had too much on it. We knew it was going to fall sooner or later, or maybe it was destined to fall sooner or later, and somebody bumped into the wall, and there it goes. And once it falls, that's just how it is. Now, Cancer's an energy that tends to hold on. Cancer's very, very, very loyal. And it may not be to the exact, it may, like, for example, if it's a job, it may not be to the job, but it may be to the people that you're connected with in the job. Or it may not be, for example, it could be a relationship thing. It may not be to the person you're married to, for an example, but it may be to the family that you're connected with, that you have this loyalty to, that makes this really hard to let go. It's kind of like, I don't really want to let it go. Like, I'd like to let go of just that one piece, but not the whole thing. And it's at first you don't seem to want to let go of it. I feel like that's your natural energy, though. That's not anything to feel bad about, so I hope it doesn't make you feel bad. That's your natural energy to kind of like, hold on, let me hold on, because I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm not, like, don't push this change on me. Let me see what's happening. So that seems to be your first knee-jerk reaction. The hard thing is to not see it as like a complete shock, because it's kind of like this thing, whatever this is in your life, you did already, it feels like you already made peace that this isn't working, and that it's something that you're kind of ready to move on from. You know that you can't do anything else with it. So when it's changing, when it first happens, it can hit you out of the blue and it can shock you. The ironic thing is to not look at this like, oh my God, I can't believe life is doing this to me. It's hard, but it's kind of like, oh my God, having that energy is kind of like, wait a minute. You will have a moment, it may be in the middle of the night, you just wake up, or just maybe you're standing off by yourself and it's just kind of filtering into your brain, kind of like, you knew this wasn't going to last. You knew this wasn't working. You knew you did everything you could to try to make it work out. Before we, try to fight for something that we can't keep anyway, let's just kind of, can we make peace or kind of accept that it's leaving and not be completely devastated, not be kind of like, oh my God, this tower is falling, but kind of look at it in a different light. The other option you could have is kind of like, all right, this is happening. Doesn't matter if I like it, it's happening. Kind of like, I'm stuck in this moment, but I don't have to be stuck with this, like, I don't have to be devastated with it. I don't have to be stuck with the devastation of it, but I can be like, you know what, this wasn't working. It may not be going the way I'd like it to go if this was going to happen, if we were going to kind of part ways, this isn't the way I'd really have chosen for it to go, but it is happening. And maybe I need to kind of reinvest in where I want to go. And I feel like you're not going to like how it's coming apart, but it's kind of like, kind of accepting in terms that make more sense for you, whatever that is in the moment, kind of like, this is happening. Kind of like going back, like, all right, this is happening. I knew this wasn't working for me anyway. Where is it that I want to go with it? And kind of like realizing this was going to happen no matter what I did. The Destiny card, this is how I'm interpreting it for this reading. Somebody else had control of this. Somebody else did things that are making this happen. It was going to happen either way. Sometimes when I feel the Destiny card coming in, it's more that you didn't have the control in this situation. Whatever you were doing wasn't affecting the outcome. Other people were affecting the outcome. It was going to happen the way it was going to happen. So like that shelf, you may not even been aware of that shelf, let alone that it had too much on it. You know what I mean? And then everything happening that caused this devastation, you may have no connection to it. No way to like really connect to it and fix it, even if you wanted to. So that's kind of where they're going with. Like long story short, this isn't your fault. So if people don't like it, this is not your fault. You know what I mean? Not that you should have fault in it anyway, but you know what I'm saying. I don't feel like people can legitimately blame you. There may be people who try to blame you, but that's not right. That's like you didn't have anything to do with it. You didn't have the control to stop this. So even if people are trying to push blame on you for whatever reason, that's not fair. That's not right. You know what I mean? Try not to invest in that. Sometimes people... Okay, I'm going to be careful with this. Be careful of people who are just looking to vent out negativity on you because they feel like you'll take it. It may be quite obvious to the majority of people that you had nothing to do with the fallout with this situation, but sometimes I feel like this happens to Cancer. Certain people just target you, and they just want to dump on you because they feel like you'll take it. Don't take it. You don't have to like fight back, but just like disconnect from that. Let them deal with it on their own. Just don't accept them dumping on you just because they want somebody to dump on. Keep that in mind. This moment is going to go into a different moment. It's going to start evolving. It kind of they're showing me like layers. Like the first layer is like the crust. I'm going to use a layered cheesecake. Like I've seen these layered cheesecakes where there's the crust. There's like it's almost purely cream cheese, and then it's like cream cheese cheesecake, and then it's just the cheesecake, which I know cream cheese is in cheesecake, but like there's this 3-layer. I'm seeing a pumpkin pie. Like maybe I should use that. So it's like the crust, there's the cheesecake layer, there's a hybrid with the cheesecake pumpkin pie layer, and then there's the pumpkin pie layer at the top. So like if you're seeing it in that type of layer, you're trying to get to the pumpkin pie part. You start in the cheesecake, you go up to the middle layer when this happens, where it's just starting to kind of meld out, it's starting to kind of change. Things aren't really done, but if this energy kind of changes quick, due to whatever fell apart, there's going to be a transformation in your life. It's going to go quicker than you expect. It's going to go really fast from what I'm getting with the Eight of Wands. Just go towards, center on what you want. Be careful of people trying to blame you. There might be not only because they want to dump on you, but they might try to manipulate you to try to take things from you so they can get more what they want. Be careful of people trying to manipulate you. I feel like there's a strong energy with that, where they're trying to make you feel guilty so they can manipulate you and take some things that should be yours. Keep that in mind. Just keep it in the back of your head, because this time isn't going to last that long, and the new beginning is going to come forward for you. Be very careful of manipulators. Don't let people manipulate you and take stuff that should be for you. I keep getting that strong energy of like somebody trying to make you feel guilty for what somebody else did, and then trying to get you to compensate them in some way and take things from you. Kind of like, you owe me this. You should do this for me anyway. You did that to me, so this should... And it's completely bogus. It's completely foolishness. And I feel like you're going to know it's foolishness, but just don't play into it. It doesn't help that energy. There's going to be a lot more choices going forward after this. You do have success coming in and things reconstituting the way you want it to later. To get here, to get these better choices, you have to find a version of believing in yourself. Some of you are better at that than others, but keep that in mind. You got to find a version of believing in yourself, and you got to walk away from the manipulation. I'm sorry, but I feel like for those of you this is going to hit with, there's going to be some level of people trying to manipulate you. Again, some of you are better at handling that than others. If you see it, it's not just about seeing it. It's about the heartstrings, and it's kind of like realizing this isn't right, and just kind of like distancing yourself from that energy temporarily. Put a distance between you and that energy. Get busy in other things. Keep your energy away from them as much as you can, because you have success coming for you and something new, locking in for you. But the trick is to not let other people manipulate you or feel bad for things that you had nothing to do with. Keep that in mind. Are we good? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.